And one other comment I want to add for you is with regard to looking at law schools like Fordham and St. John's, they are very different. As you noted, they have different requirements, and there are also different career opportunities associated with each. Like St.
Yeah.
John's, they require lower numbers. It's also not as prestigious as school. So
Yeah.
if you're going to go there, you want significant scholarship money, if not ideally a full ride, which means you still want a pretty high LSAT. If you were going to St. John's and taking out loans for it, you might not be able to pay them off so easily when you graduate. So keep that in mind. I think either school you're looking for, if you want to stay in New York, I get it. I live in New York also, and it's obviously the best city in the world, right?
Right.
So you want to stay here, but that limits your options to some extent because there's only so many law schools here in New York. So make sure you're getting a good enough LSAT score where you can either go to a prestigious law school or you can get a significant scholarship money, if not a full ride, or both.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because we had like this law day at my school. So there was like pick the schools you want to pick, but also be realistic. Like they call it like a safe zone, like a school that you know you'll definitely get into. So that's why it's so different, like from Fordham to St. John's. Like so.
Yeah, but keep in mind also getting in is just the first step, because then there's succeeding there and there's the loans associated, there's the bar exam, there's jobs afterwards. It doesn't really end. But if you get that high LSAT score, like at least 160 plus, then you're getting scholarship money or getting into a better law school, maybe both.
Yeah, that's my goal, because I feel like my GPA could be better, because I had to take a year off from because I went to BMCC also. I had to take a year off when my grandma died, and I feel like that's when my GPA like flaked. And then it's still like hurting my GPA till this day. Like I'm getting better grades now. I was even on the dean's list, but it's still like, in order for my GPA to go a little higher, I have to get all A's this semester. So it's still going to be a little challenging. So that's why I want to do very good on this test. Like, so
regarding the GPA, I mean, you can write an addendum about that. You can talk about what happened. That's a valid reason. And the upward trend is at least a good thing, that your grades go up as time goes on. But LSAT score weighs more heavily, and that's the biggest thing you can impact at this point. So give it your all over the next 5-6 months. Get that 160 plus. And although you want to stay in New York, it also wouldn't hurt to apply to law schools outside New York, just because it can help you negotiating scholarships. Like you get into law school somewhere else, you can go to St. John's or Fordham and say, hey, I'd love to go to you guys. I prefer to stay in New York. School X outside New York offered me this. Can you at least match that or maybe exceed it a little bit? So play them off each other. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.